Okay, what we got today? We have the amendments. Okay, so we will do the amendments, and then when the amendments are done, I will take time to answer questions if you have them. Okay. Once again, this will be recorded if you guys want to go back and listen to it. Just for fun. All right. Go through and check it out. All right. So the first 10 amendments. The first 10 amendments are the Bill of Rights. Okay? First 10 amendments are the Bill of Rights. These are considered by most to be our most significant rights. All right, the things that we feel are the most important. All right, we start with number 1: speech, religion, press, assembly, and petition. All right.
All one.
This is all the First Amendment. These are the rights that really are the most significant to Americans as you look at them. All right? Number 2, right to bear arms. The ability to have a weapon. All right? Now, when created, the right to bear arms was the idea that you would defend yourselves against the British, right? So that has changed, but to this day, the ability to have a gun is something that most or many Americans find to be a key part of our rights. Okay? Number 3 is quartering. We as Americans do not have to let any soldiers sleep in our homes. This is the one that would be the least likely to matter for us. But remember, during the Revolutionary War time period, the British were taking over Americans' homes, right? So this makes it that they cannot do that. All right? Number 4, search and seizure. Okay? Police must have a warrant in order to search your home or search your car, unless they have probable cause. So if you get pulled over for speeding, just for speeding, a cop cannot look in your vehicle. If they search your vehicle and they find something, they can't use it against you. If you have an open bottle of alcohol in the backseat of your car, that will give them probable cause. Then they can look in your car. If they see a gun under your seat, then they have probable cause. Okay? So you cannot do this unless you have a warrant or if there's probable cause. And that probable cause has to be tricky. Police will often err on the side of restraint in order to get the warrant before they will search. Because if they search and it is deemed an illegal search, it cannot be used against you in a trial. All right? Important thing for all of you guys to know in case you ever find yourself being with the monkeys. The original Project X. Matthew Broderick. Much better film. Promise.
That was a remake?
No.
Oh my God.
Okay, number 5. Okay? Number 5 involves if you are on trial. Okay? So, you must be formally accused of a crime. Okay? You must be formally accused of a crime. Number 2.
This is in order to be on trial.
This is rights as a defendant.
Ah.
Okay? You can't be tried twice for the same crime. If you are charged with murdering somebody, and you are found not guilty, and you walk out of the courtroom and say, I killed her, they cannot try you again for that case. They call that double jeopardy. What they can do is they can then try you in a civil court where they can attempt to get money from you. But criminally, you can only be tried once. So the most famous example of that recently is O.J. Simpson. All right? O.J. Simpson, what was the trial of the century in '95, was found not guilty of killing his wife and her boyfriend. But then he was found guilty of the same crime in a civil court, and was ordered to pay something like $35 million. Okay? So, civil court is where you go for financial issues. Criminal court is where jail is involved. Okay? Yeah.
What if they find
Sorry.
new evidence? Oh, sorry.
If they find new evidence, it doesn't matter.
Oh, really?
If they find new evidence, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
So that's why if you don't, they have to know that they're going to go for it. And if there's many examples where the judge will decide we'd rather not press charges because we want to save it in case we do find stuff later on.
So they can like postpone.
Right. Right, but then you can't be held. They have to let you go. Okay? And number 3, the one that you probably all know, is you can't be forced to testify against yourself. This is where you can plead the fifth. Okay? Where you do not have to, say what you have.
And these are the rights of the defendant?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay? First 5, any questions?
No. You can't be forced to testify against someone else.
No, you are always allowed to.
Oh, really?
You're always allowed to not testify. Okay? So 6 and 7 are related. Okay? 6 and 7 are related. You have the right to a trial by jury. You have the right to a lawyer or counsel if you can't afford it.
One will be appointed to you.
One will be appointed to you. Okay? And you have the right to confront a witness. Meaning you have the right to cross-examine them. Okay? So if somebody comes up and testifies against you, you have the right to ask them questions back. Seven is the trial by jury part. I'm going to just read it to you because I think it's funny how it's worded and how things have changed. In suits in common law where the value of controversy shall exceed $20, the right of trial by jury shall be preserved, and no fact trial by jury shall otherwise be re-examined. So if it's worth more than $20, then you have the right to a trial by jury. And I don't think there are many trials that are for less than $20 at this point.
So if you had like a parking ticket
Yes,
and you wanted to fight that parking ticket, do you deserve a trial by jury?
because that is not going to be a criminal case.
Oh, it's like misdemeanor.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay? Number 8, excessive punishment. All right? We have no cruel and unusual punishment. Okay? Along with excessive bail. Bail is what allows you to get out of jail while you're waiting for a trial to happen. Okay? There are 2 ways to do it. You can either pay a bail bondsman, you pay them 10%, they will pay the rest, and then you go free, or you can pay all of it yourself. If you pay it all and you show up for court, the court will give you back your money. Okay? So if your bail is $500,000, you have to pay 10% of that to a bail bondsman. So if you steal a loaf of bread, they can't put you in jail and say your bail's $1 million. Okay? It has to be fair. No cruel and unusual punishment, no torture. There is always arguments over issues of the death penalty. Is the death penalty considered cruel and unusual punishment? As of right now, it's a state issue because the government has determined that it is not cruel and unusual, the federal government. So you still can have execution. Number 9. Unenumerated rights of the people. Okay? This is rights that are not listed in the Constitution, but people still have them. Okay? So these are things like, for example, the rights of parents. Parents can tell kids what to do, and you all have to listen, right?
No.
That is not listed in the Constitution, but it is a right that is unenumerated. A right to privacy. There are some that are tricky. The right to marry. Marriage has always been a right that we have had as Americans. Now we are seeing that it is being redefined. The right to drive. Okay? These are rights that, unless taken away by a federal judge, you have the right to do. And finally, number 10. Any right that is not clearly listed in the Constitution automatically goes to the state, or goes to the state. Gay marriage. That's a big one right now. Well, just because it's the one that is, it's the one that's right, that is so visible right now. Okay? So, all right, so 11 is that a state, an individual cannot sue a state through federal court. Don't have to worry about that one.
Okay.
So we don't have to write that down.
No, if I write it up here, you should know it. Okay. 12 is the in 1804. It's going to correct the election of the president and vice president that we saw in class. So you now vote as a block, right? You're not voting for, different things. Yeah.
I thought for the test we have to know 1 through 28.
You have to know the 27 amendments, but I'm telling you the ones that are the most important. And by me telling you the ones that are the most important, that should be a good hint to you. Okay? 13 through 15.
I'm not going to be honest, right?
13 through 15 are your civil rights amendments. Okay? 13, okay, is saying that there is no slavery. All right? Obviously important. Okay?
Other classes do
Yes, clearly. Okay? Number 14 is citizenship. You're born in the United States, you are a citizen.
Does it define other ways to become citizens, or just the born part of it?
It is basically discussing. We'll talk about, for this situation, you just need to know it's the citizenship. We're going to see that this law is, if this amendment is going to be used in business. It can be kind of extended in many different ways. Okay? And 15 is the right to vote. As it states, listen closely, the rights of citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of race, color, or previous condition of servitude. What does it not say? Gender. Okay? So, these are going to be your civil rights amendments, 1865 to 1870, following the Civil War. The first 10, the first 11 really, are from before 1800. No, but if you remember that it's regarding the civil rights, Civil War, same time period.
we need to know what number each one is?
I would know that 13 through 15 are the civil rights. The groupings that I would do, I would know those.
So, what would you ask, like, amendment number 9?
No.
How are you asking this question? Yeah, I don't know. That's how I thought.
Um,
Like, kind of like, memorize
According
No,
to-
it's not. It's not going to be in that way. It's going to be more the. It would be something like